Hey y'all, what's going on? It's the Coastal Critiques panel, and we are back to discuss the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's Season 6, Episode 16, Sisters of Salt, a Greek tragedy, y'all. This is the finale episode for Season 6, so you know we're about to get all into it.
All up and through it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We have arrived at the end, y'all. I
think it deserves a round of applause, though, sister.
I think it does. I think it is. Where is my applause? Because we really stuck this season out with our girls, y'all. Y'all have been down here talking all things Season 6 with us. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. Wait, is this our first Happy New Year? This is our first episode since the new year, right? Yeah.
No, we went No, because I have fireworks for that reason on New Year's. I think we went New Year. Did we go New Year's Day?
I think so.
I think we went New Year's Day because I went the next day. Yes.
We have, y'all. So
we'll go check it out.
Yeah, it's been a good season though. It's been a good season. We have some highs, we have some lows. How did you feel about the finale though? Like if you had to rate it, if you had to compare it to seasons prior, how do you feel about it?
The finale, being in the finale, we could have did this earlier. I wish they would have did it earlier. I'll say that. And the reason why I say that is because we got to some knit and grit. We got some doors busted wide open, and some of it, flew over some of the cuckoo's nest. But for the most part, for the very most part, we should have did this way earlier. I wish they would have. I wish this what is it? The trip, the girls' trip. I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't the finale, because, like I said, some things were said, some things were done, and yeah. What about you? Okay, so what? I didn't rate it. I'm sorry. So if I had to rate it as a finale, finale, I'm going to rate that at a 7.5, maybe 8. 7.5, maybe 8. Even though, like I said, it was for me, it was some things that needed to be said that were said. But then with the documentary being dropped, I'm side-eyeing some things that I already knew for a reason why I didn't like my girl Mary from jump. But hey, I'm gonna go with my 8. I'm gonna go with an 8. I'm gonna go with an 8 for the finale. I'm gonna go with an 8.
I feel bad then, because I gotta give it probably like a 6.5. Yeah, obviously I love talking about it. There's a couple different things that I want to pinpoint, but all in all, no. Was I over here getting my life? No, I wasn't, as compared to other seasons, other finales. I didn't hate it, but yes, I am side-eyeing people still. I did reconfirm certain feelings I had towards certain cast members already. We already knew, obviously, that we were about to end on a cast trip, but next season, I'm good on ending on cast trips. Like I'd like to not end on another cast trip next season. Okay. And I also feel some type of way because, and I guess I can share it now, but in the mid-season trailer, there's like some little glimpses of scenes that we did not get to see, such as this wholesome scene with matching pajamas and stuff. Like, why didn't we get that, I was also under the idea that we were supposed to also hear a little bit more about Heather's black eye this season. That was supposed to be a topic of discussion, I heard, and we didn't get into that. So would I have rather gotten into things like that as compared to some of what we got in this episode? Definitely. But again, like, no, I didn't hate it. It wasn't a complete flop. It just it left a little bit to be desired for me. But we forgot, y'all. Do not forget to like the video, because it helps both of our channels. It helps us grow. It helps us to connect with more of you out there. And don't forget to subscribe. We are streaming both of our channels, so hit the like button on both. Hit the subscribe button on both. If you're watching on X, come on over here to YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, come on over here to YouTube and like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, y'all. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our uploads. Our socials are scrolling along the bottom of the screen, y'all. Do all the things. Really close this out with a bang. I mean, we will obviously be back for the 3-part reunion. But yeah, we just, it's a reciprocal relationship we have here, y'all. Y'all do for us, we do for you, and vice versa. So thank you. Oh, and actually, since you brought up the documentary, if you guys didn't catch Mary's documentary that dropped last week, or if you did catch it, I should say, and you want to talk about it, we are going to come right back after this and touch on some of the things that we gathered in that 3-parter. So that is why you definitely want to be subscribed and your notification bell on, all the things, so you don't miss when we pop back in here directly after. Okay. Who we got? Nish-5ZV. Hi, hello, how are you today? 16 people collectively watching. Make sure you guys, jump in the chat. Let us know what you thought of the season. Let us know what you thought of this finale. We want to hear everything. So yeah, just pop on out the bushes, say hi, do all the things.
All the good things, please, and thank you.
But let's our favorite is in here. Hey, Kins, what's going on?
Hey, kids. Love ya.
Yes.
Welcome.
Day 4 of the trip, though, y'all. Day 4 of the trip has touched down. And of course, we love the production. We love how this specific series, specific franchise is edited, because they always really give us all the theatrics, all the ominous music, and all the snapshots and stuff like that. We get that, of course, and it's a bit of foreshadowing, though, for what is to come later on, about 12 hours later, to be exact. And unfortunately, y'all, we know last week that Angie had a bit of a run-in, so Mama's lip was swole up. When we put on lip gloss and lipstick and stuff like that, you couldn't quite tell, but for now, I was like, girl, the fillers are failing you in this moment. They swole up like a golf ball on her mouth, and I felt for her. I really did. We also find out that she has coordinated a playwright, a Greek playwright that is super famous, super popular over there in Greece. She came by to actually put on this ancient Greek theater style rendition of the ladies, pretty much, in a play. So we seen that 3 days earlier, Stella is her name. She was learning a little bit more about the ladies. She came over to take some notes and to kind of get the gist of how they see themselves, how they see everybody else. And we got a couple little snapshots of that. We have Meredith describing herself as pensive. Mary says she is self-aware, whereas Brittany said she's deep. I don't know if, many of us would say that, but that's what she said about herself, and so on and so forth. Then, of course, like I said, they describe each other. Heather, she said something about lack of justice, dingbats. Whitney said ego, martyr, pride, etc. We got Lisa calling people dramatic, even though a lot of you guys would probably say that Lisa's dramatic anyway. And so next up, we find out that the ladies will be meeting up with Angie's cousin for lunch. So Meredith is making cappuccinos. She seems to be in pretty good spirits. And this takes Bronwyn aback because we find out that just a couple hours ago, in the wee hours of the morning, around 1:30 a.m. to be exact, she was in a full panic, apparently, asking Bronwyn to come down to her and because she wants to talk to her about something. And so we find out what they talked about later. But for now, Bronwyn is just so taken aback because she's like, okay, how do you go from that to now being all fine and dandy and well and making cappuccinos? Heather was also making mention of how Meredith was in there making cappuccinos, and she says that they're really starting to go deep. And we get a flashback again of the previous night where Lisa was like going off in the van on their way back from dinner or whatever. We didn't catch back up with them that night, which is why I showed you again that little snapshot of them having like this huggy moment during maybe like a slumber party night. We didn't get to see any of that. So I like I said, I feel some type of way about that. Nonetheless, Heather's calling everybody out though. She's calling everybody out, saying that they don't live up to the same standard that she's held herself in this group, which is that she lets it all hang out. She lets it all hang out, whereas they're not very honest. They're not forthcoming. They're not raw. And she just has an issue with that because that's always how she's presented herself on this show. Yeah. Okay. So Bronwyn pops in on Mary real quick, y'all. And she's telling Mary how she didn't sleep very well because, again, we find out that around 1:15, 1:30 a.m., it was at first Mary, Meredith, and Bronwyn all kind of in the common area talking or whatever. And then apparently right after that, when Bronwyn went back to her room, she got that text from Meredith saying, hey, can you come down here? Can I come up there? Like, want to talk, yada, yada, yada. And from there, when she went to go speak to her, apparently Meredith wanted to know what they spoke about at the lunch, the lunch where Bronwyn divulged that she and Todd seen Seth in New York with a woman. Yeah.
No, sister. No, sister. Red Cup Seth. Go ahead.
Yes. Red Cup Seth saw them, and he was seen with a woman in New York. So Meredith was feeling very anxious, very she was just very, very on the side of wanting to know what all had been said because she's had this target on her back and she just felt like somebody had been obviously speaking about her. And Mary's like, what? Oh my God. And Bronwyn's like, yeah, I kept it very short. I kind of danced around it and whatnot. And I kind of just left it at that. And so Mary's like, yep, that's weird behavior. Like, why did she ask that? What's going on with that? Especially when we were both standing right there originally. She could have asked you while I was standing there. Like, why didn't she ask me? Like, I'm not understanding. And again, Bronwyn's feeling like the dynamic between her and Meredith is really starting to shift to a dynamic where Meredith just uses her to collect information, so to speak. And she wants to know who mentioned what, and she's really just trying to dissect whatever she can from Bronwyn, and Bronwyn's feeling very used. She feels like a pawn that's just being used to pretty much get back at the other ladies by way of Meredith. So I don't have so much to say about this as much as I was like, okay, there could be two things could have happened here. We could either have had this could be another ploy that Bronwyn has came up with to exercise her own maliciousness, because we know that she's shown that, y'all. Or, I mean, it could be true. I don't know. But I feel like this just opened up another can of worms that I just really didn't care about hearing about at the tail end of the season here, because I knew we weren't going to get to the bottom of it. Just like other things this season with Meredith. It's always came down to what Meredith says versus what everybody else says, or what this person says, or whatever. And there's always, three sides to a story, and we're never going to get that other side. So why is this a topic of conversation? And maybe if we would have actually seen the ladies back at the villa after dinner, maybe that would have gave me a little bit more insight as to who I could possibly believe. But I didn't even care, because we're not going to hear what really happened. And I feel like if this season has shown us anything, it's that everybody looks at things differently. So your perception might be, it might not align with my perception. And we even seen that in the text messages in this moment. It didn't really, to me, it didn't read as though Meredith was like, can you come down here right now? It didn't give spiraling and stuff like that to me. It gave like, hey, can you come, can you talk, yada, yada, yada. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing, Bronwyn, you made this bed. You gonna have to lie in that bed, baby. You did that to yourself. So yeah, Meredith is manipulative, right? So she's going to see and try to I'm gonna put you to the test. Let me see what I can get about you one more good time. Maybe it's over. Maybe the thrill is gone. Maybe the thrill is gone. But maybe it's not. Maybe I can get one more. Maybe you'll divulge some more information to me. Now, for me, like you said, the fact that the production didn't give us this picture that you have that I love, because I was wondering when they showed Mary and her, the reason why Meredith didn't ask the both of them, they were in the pajamas and they were downstairs, and I'm thinking, when did that happen? So I'm so happy that you had that picture to show that. And then Meredith woke up making cappuccino in this same outfit. So it's like, what's going on? Are y'all trying to show us that they had got along? I feel like they must have got along so well that they didn't want to show us. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because you're putting, because now you're doing the build up for the finale. You're building it up, but the build up is like you said, sister. I think if they would have showed us that, we would have been able to align a little bit better.
Like, we don't even know. We left off on y'all getting kicked out the restaurant. We don't know what the energy was. Then we see Lisa going off in the van. I don't know. Like, we don't know where you guys were exactly. And then now you're coming up with this. And again, Bronwyn has proven to be somebody who can't quite be trusted with stuff. She is the local Salt Lake City bone carrier in the group, is kind of who she's been. So
yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. I'm glad you brought all that up. Thank you for the picture.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this isn't the last we hear about it, because next thing we know, Bronwyn goes out, Meredith sitting outside or whatever, she comes up over to her and she's just telling her that she feels some type of way. She feels really uncomfortable about the conversation they had. And she may be overthinking it, but when Meredith went to go ask her about the lunch that they had, now she's saying that Meredith is like, whoa. I never asked you that. That's not what happened. Like, what are you talking about? And, Meredith is like what? She continues to deny it, of course. And Bronwyn, she's feeling bamboozled and gagged and, just beside herself, because Meredith did ask that. And now she's sitting here trying to deny it in her face. And Bronwyn's like, or Meredith, she said that you were the one that was actually super anxious, asking like what was to come, with this play and everything. And I was really just trying to quell your anxieties by reaching out and saying, well, if something was said at the lunch that was contentious, that's probably what's going to be brought out in the play. That was it. That was all. And Bronwyn actually winds up, she completely loses it, because in her mind, she stood by Meredith even more so than Lisa has this season. And, you did ask me this. You asked me to come to you off camera, and, it's and then now you're going to look me in my face and say that didn't happen. Like, goodbye. I don't have it to do. Good day. And Meredith's just like, I don't like any of these accusations. I don't like to be told that I said something that I didn't. And that's kind of just where we leave it between them two, with Rama getting up and storming off, Meredith getting up and she's over it. And so now it's safe to say Meredith is no longer in a good mood.
At all. And y'all know what that means. Everybody gotta see it, feel it, think it. It's at the forefront of everybody's. Hey y'all, hey, Meredith is not in a good mood because it went from one extreme to the next, because remember she's in a great mood that morning, which was threw Bronwyn off, because the night before, I mean, it makes sense that Bronwyn would feel that way. I'm swaying more towards what Bronwyn is saying. Maybe she wasn't spiraling, but maybe she was a little slurry, and so that made Bronwyn feel away. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, when you hear somebody say spiraling, that means that they're boisterous and they're saying something, and you know, I feel like everybody would have heard it. But then Meredith is very calculated, so she's gonna also talk low, especially if she doesn't want projection to hear it or see it or know about it. So I also feel like I am very tired of Meredith saying, you know, not that it's the gaslighting of it all, but I just don't like it's the wording she's using. Because she said it with Mary, and Mary is like, I was there. And just like with Bronwyn, I was there. I'm trying to think the verbiage, but it's the thing that bothers me, that she does that to everybody. It's you and her having a conversation. It's you and I having a conversation, sister. And I say to you, you said to me, sister, yada, 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 and you said, no, I didn't. No, but because me and my sister have done this. Let me, not me and you and I. But me and my sister, I'm giving you an example. Me and my sister Coco, I told her that I wanted her to go to a Wingstop, and she said I said Buffalo Wild Wings, and I said I wouldn't say Buffalo Wild Wings because I don't really go there. I don't really go there. It's not a place I don't even. I've been there once, maybe twice, and that's when I lived in LA, and that was in 2018. So literally, I'm like, I didn't say that. She said, and then so I started playing it back in my head. And I was like, I adamantly told her, no, I didn't say that. Like, I adamantly said it. Then I started playing it back in my head, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I did. Maybe I said that. Maybe I saw a commercial and that was on my mind. So with that being said, I got out of my own head and being mad at her for trying to tell me that I said it, and then just said, maybe I did. And so for me, when it comes to the two of them having a look, or you and I, look, you said this to me, and you say, no, I didn't say that. So tell me what you said. And you verbatim say, no, this is what I said. And it doesn't sound like saying to me, we can, at that moment is when we're going to agree to disagree. But you can't tell, I'm getting tired of Meredith trying to tell me, no, I'm sorry you feel that I said, no, Meredith, ain't no feel. Stop telling me what I feel, because you can't tell me what I feel. You can't. There's no right or wrong with my feelings. So, like, you can tell me what you said, and I can tell you what I thought you said, and then we can agree to disagree. But when you go back and tell me, no, I'm sorry you feel that I said that, or when Meredith, are you okay? Because look, we're not going to go back and forth. And for whatever reason, every time we have a conversation, Meredith, you keep saying that's not what you said. And literally, this is not the first time. So now I'm prone to believe that you're lying, you don't remember, or you're gaslighting, just like it's going to be said. But go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like these are two people. Like, I'm not saying that Meredith is, there can be some truth to things that have been said about her this season, of course, but at the same time, it's still gonna sometimes be like a right message, wrong messenger in my eyes, because just like I said last week, nobody's hands are clean, and I can't fully trust anybody on the.
So right now,
in the cast.
So,
Not one person.
So before we move on, are you saying that to? So you're saying that to say that with Bronwyn, you think that she's trying to circle back, like cover her own behind Meredith, but like, look, I've been telling all, going back and trying to be a good friend, but now I'm backstabbing my other friends. Am I doing that?
If you're so trying to go back and be a good friend, and I've been the one that's been supporting you the most this season, then you would have been a good friend, and you would have presented that information at lunch. You would have presented it straight to Meredith's face. Off camera, probably, if you really, really want to be a good friend, but at a minimum, on camera, on a one-on-one. But you didn't. You allowed that to get out to other people that weren't Meredith, and you knew exactly what the implication was. You can sit here in the end and act like you didn't. You knew exactly what you were saying when you said that. So, like, again, Bronwyn can't fully be trusted. She can't even fully be trusted with her own stuff. I'm gonna get to that later on now. You said one thing and I was like, anyway. Okay, so then they go meet Angie's cousin for lunch. Don't really have too much to say about this other than, like I said, everybody's in the van, and what? Oh yeah, they're noticing that Meredith's face is twisted up. She's she's not really as cheerful as she was initially that morning. And Whitney's like, can we just have fun? Angie's like, can we please just keep it together? I don't want to, my cousin, he's excited to see us and stuff. So can you please just like come together and do this for me? Like, please. And so from there, that's where they meet him. Everything was all fine and dandy. For the most part, they kept it together. However, you could clearly see written on Mary's face. You could see written on like Whitney's face, Meredith's face. Like a couple of them weren't able to really fake the funk, because it's just like, we just were talking on the sprinter and you just basically Bronwyn just let it all out that, this is really what is going on in the background within the group right now. So some of them were able to fake the funk, some of them weren't. Nonetheless, there was no major blow-ups, luckily. And we have her cousin giving the family history a bit. This is where we find out that Angie really, she can more so identify with her dad's side of the family and stuff. She doesn't really have too many stories. She doesn't really know too much about her mom's side. She's never even been to where her mom is from. Her cousin said he's going to take her there though next time. So hopefully we'll see that happen for her. And she only really has one story about her mom, which is when they were like hiding underground. That would be her grandmother. Yeah, her grandmother was telling her mom, like, you have to keep your voices down because they can hear us and unalive us, so to speak. So just very telling of what time period that they were living in and how frightening it was to be growing up during that time. Shout outs to her cousin though. He seemed like a nice guy. My whole thing too is, Angie, if this is supposed to be where you're from, this is your country, this is your people, whoop-de whoop-de whoop. Yeah, I would just assume that you would know not to bring the highest of heels, because it's going to be a lot of cobblestones. But this is your country, right? Anyway, yeah, that's really all I have to say about that.
Yeah, if she wants to wear a high heel wedges next time for you, if you need to heighten yourself, yeah, just put a wedge on, Bookie Boo. Yeah, I love the cousin. The cousin was sweet. I love the energy that Lisa was giving at that time, because then it let me know that she did have some care about Angie, because you're not giving that much energy to someone that you're not trying to either like, have some type of love for. Like, I'm just gonna sit like how Meredith was sitting. Meredith could not get into the rhythm of, just being in the ambiance of the cousin or anything. Mary looked uncomfortable. I don't know what the weather. I know the wind was blowing, but I don't know what the weather was looking like. Whitney had on her shoulders was out, so it did look a little, a little like she might have been tanning on just a touch, not like, oh my gosh, she looked red, but it was a little pink on her. So I was thinking Mary looked a little uncomfortable, but all in all, yeah, it was cool. I just wonder why it was just the one cousin.
Yeah, I don't know. He got on the ferry though, and he said he was gonna show up for his cousin, and I'm glad that they were able to have that little family moment.
Mm-hmm.
But before we know it, y'all, we're back on the van. Meredith doesn't know why she's even there at this point. Heather's like asking like, if she's okay, and Bronwyn's like, yeah, I'll speak up and say it. And actually, this is when she lets it out, and it's like, last night Meredith texted me. She wanted me to come talk to her, and there was something that was said in the conversation that made me very uncomfortable, which was that Meredith said, it's been a lot coming in her direction these last couple weeks. It's target on her back. And what did you guys say at this lunch? I know there was some lies said. What did y'all say? And Meredith, again, she's disagreeing. Because she feels like Bronwyn is thinking, she's just trying to pump her for information, and that's absolutely not what she's doing. And this is where Bronwyn's like, I feel like you're either trying to gaslight me, and Meredith is just tired of Bronwyn and how she's been coming at her with this whole thing. And Bronwyn's like, I want Meredith. I don't want Meredith Marks Esquire. I want Meredith the friend. And it's clear that there's not going to be any resolution right here. And this is kind of the energy that takes us right into the play. Everybody, even when they got back to the villa, everybody's getting ready. You got this person over here, like, and their mindset is over here. Like, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. You got this other person over here. Like, everybody just has their own thoughts and ideas on what is going to transpire and where it's going to leave them in the end. And so when they head out, they go to the courtyard area that they're going to be doing the play at. And well, before they even sit down for the play, they do have like some food there and stuff. And they all are eating and stuff. And Brittany's wondering if anybody's going to serve them. There was nobody in sight. I don't know why she thought that, whatever. And Mary, she felt like it was giving haunted house. She felt like, okay, am I overdressed? Like, this is, what are we doing? What's going on? I don't remember the names of the fabric that they were given, but the fabrics were given to them so that, and I mean, I have a picture of this. And obviously, as you can see, the colors are corresponding to who is supposed to be depicting them in the play, which I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that, that
Wait, go back. I thought the fabric wasn't big enough for big heads. I see it did make it over Heather's head.
Apparently so. And yeah, y'all, I did write down what they were said, but to save us time on that, I forget who, shout outs to the content creator who posted these, but
nice.
Or actually I guess we'll start with Heather.
Perfect.
And as you guys can see, Heather, she says, Heather, you're a joke wrapped in mascara. You act like nothing touches you, but everything does. And you laugh because crying would make you real. You hide behind your humor like it's armor, laughing loud enough to drown out the things you refuse to say. But behind every joke is a shadow, a demon you're too scared to say out loud. I'm going to give that a thumbs up. That's pretty solid on.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was doing the whole time I was watching it. Every time somebody says it, I was like, clocked it. You're clocking. Everybody clocked it. Everybody clocked it. Go ahead.
I don't, and some people I don't think enough was said, to be honest. But anyway, Lisa's is the one that kicked it off, and I thought that it was especially funny because they were like Lisa, one of the elders in the group or something.
No, sister, the fact that they had Lisa in front of the group with sisters in the beginning, she walked out, she stood in front of the girls, and all the girls were behind her. I was like, is this the sisterhood? Why is she acting like she the matriarch, the mother? The mother. I still.
was one of the eldest. She was one of the eldest, which is wild because technically Brittany's the eldest in the group, but whatever.
Wait, Brittany's the oldest?
Mm-hmm.
Brittany's older than me?
I think I don't know.
I think Mary's the oldest.
No, Brittany's like she's the oldest by like a year or like some months. They're all like in the same age
and
group.
a crescendo and a yeah.
Hey princess. I'm sorting at my hot side hustle popping. Okay, get that money. Lisa, you wear wealth like a shield. You carry yourself like a queen among servants, speaking to us sisters, not as equals, but as women forever beneath your marble pedestal. If only you were capable of an apology, able to say, I was wrong. But that would mean being lesser, and humility is the only thing you can never afford. I would have been speechless if I was Lisa. But again, no lies were told, in my opinion.
Can you imagine being told the truth about yourself so eloquently that it hurts and it almost goes over your head? You like, whoa. Or the fact that they were just really trying to keep composure. Because I was with Bronwyn, I would have been crying. My whole tears would have been running down my face because I'd have been like, dang, this is how my girls feel about me. Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely sick. Angie, though. Angie, daggers lie beneath your tongue, voice sharp, slicing, so foolish in your thirst to be the best that you're left alone with nothing but the echo of the damage you caused. You know, and mind you, y'all, as they're saying this, we're getting all the corresponding flashbacks with throughout the season of these moments that corroborate what was said. And again, this is just based off Stella. This is just based off what the women have told her, what she has kind of gathered amongst them. So she is an uninterested party. She has no reason to lie on these ladies. So it is what it is. Jesus. Bronwyn, you're not two-faced, you're no-faced. That was actually Lisa specifically that said that, I remember. You want to be trusted, but you treat loyalty like a party favor, cheap and easy to toss. You collect secrets like trinkets, trading them between sisters under the guise of concern, but always leaving damage in her wake. Cracked. Just absolutely cracked. Did I already say Heather? Yeah.
No, you didn't? Oh.
Yeah, I think I did her second. Oh. Ooh, Whitney, we feel compelled to dismiss you as shallow, a flirt, a body without a mind. Perhaps you speak wisdom in passing, but no one listens long enough to hear you. If you want to be more than decoration at their table, you must speak up. Ooh. Mary, you speak with a blade sharpened by truth. Your words often sting despite your conviction. You must learn that even in the righteous must bend. For without forgiveness, your conviction becomes a cage. It was mainly Brittany that spoke about her, if I'm not mistaken. This is where I feel like more can be said, honestly. And not even just because of the documentary, y'all, which again, we're going to, right after this, coming back for that, so stay tuned. I feel like way more, like and I know I've touched on this before, that Mary kind of gets off a little easy over here, I do feel. Whereas if she was on some of the other franchises, they would not, I feel like, go as easy on her and stuff, because no, Mary does say wild shit sometimes. And she is very, I feel like, a lot more cold and heartless with her approach and her word choice a lot of times, more than somebody I would think, would come from somebody of her, being a pillar, in the church. I would expect more from her sometimes, and I don't even see that. So I didn't have an issue with that. Oh my God. Brittany, when you speak, your words sound like childish noise, But worse than all, you cling to the attention of men like it's your lifeline. So consumed by a man's attention that you barely notice your children fading quietly into the background. If I was Whitney, I would have got up. I would have asked polite. I would have been like, can someone please demic me? I would have proceeded to get my phone out and find the soonest flight back to Salt Lake City, where I would have then proceeded to change my name, change my identity, go and change everything about myself, and never to be seen on anybody's screen again. The fact that this thing was able to dissect that from you based on what was said, I don't understand how she's cried over less, I feel like, on the show. That is telling. My God, that's why I saved it for last, because
this is such a disconnect. She doesn't, if her children peed on her, she wouldn't even realize. Now I'm not talking about no 2-year-old, no 1-year-old, no maybe. Now I'm talking about her full grown up kid, her teenage daughters, her, like, literally, and you can't even feel bad for Brittany. You just cannot feel bad for her, because there's no way there is that much brainwashing on the planet that did she bump her head? Did she have an injury? It gotta be some kind of injury to the head. There's no way you can do the things that she's done and hear the things that she's heard and not feel some type of way. Like, girl. And Mary, for real, they clocked you too. Mary, you are a woman of the cloth. Not the woman of the cloth. And you act like the woman of the night. Not the night like that. But I'm saying you don't have any compassion for anybody. There's just like no compassion. Yeah, you can be speaking the truth at some times, but there's also the way she looked at Brittany when Brittany was like, is there anybody serving us? And she's like, I was just like, you don't even have to do that. That her talking shouldn't even bother you. It shouldn't bother you the way it bothers you. But you know, I also feel like with me, after you done got on my nerves so much, I can only take so much. And if you're gonna be in my presence and I don't rock with you, I don't know. I might act the way Mary's acting. I don't know. I feel like, because I don't rock with you and I can't get away from you. But then I don't want to be, I'm just not gonna stand by you. If you walk over here and you talking, I'm gonna go over there. I'm just not gonna be by you. So yeah, the girls got clocked. The girls got clocked in Greek.
They did. I feel like that is why directly after this, y'all, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of silent for the most part. They're like, wow, that was telling. That was that. And, everybody's kind of keeping it cute up until the point where Bronwyn was like, I don't know about you guys, but I was bawling. And where is it? Hold on, y'all. My notes are not.
That was the realest thing that was said right there. That was the realest thing. What she said right then, I was like,
yeah. She was like, I have a deep issue. I have a deep issue of not feeling like people are loyal to me. And, a big part of that is because I'm not loyal to other people. I don't know how to be. And she's like, even when it comes to Todd, who I love and choose to be with, he has been disloyal to me. And this is where I'm like, that's why she can't be trusted. Bronwyn's the same person that presented the issues in her marriage last season as one way, only to then circle back and backpedal when actually questioned about it again later on the season at the reunion, etc. So 1 minute you said it didn't happen, it wasn't like that, it wasn't anything serious, it wasn't a serious affair, nothing like that. Only for you to then now this season say that he has been disloyal to you. So which one is it? Like, did something happen? Did something not happen? Was it as serious as you made it seem in the beginning, or was it not? There's not. The slip is showing. The slip is very much showing. That's why I can't take what she's saying about Meredith or anything for that matter as the God's honest truth.
Hmm.
And from there, y'all, Meredith is actually one to say that she starts to open up, and that's not something she really likes to do on here, because she tries to use her words carefully. She tries to be cautious, and that's because they do hold meaning. But when somebody is saying that she's something, or that she said something that she didn't, it's very hurtful, and she's afraid of the betrayal that is to follow suit. And it wasn't Bronwyn that spoke up to mention anything. It was actually Heather that needed to get her 2 cents in there to say that Meredith is a powerhouse. She's not some like just meek person that just, rolls over and is just such a victim. And Meredith's like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly why I don't say anything, because of it's not taken serious. It's torn apart. And of course we have Whitney chiming in as well. As Meredith is beginning to blow up, because she's like, this always happens every single time I try to open up. And Heather's literally saying that's not true, but we're literally watching it happen here. She did, because at this point in time, in my opinion, so much like it's one side versus the other. We're never going to get the truth unless we see this footage at the reunion. We're never going to get the truth of what's happened this season. That's been the major topics of this season involving Meredith. We're never going to get the 100% truth on that. So, and I loved how she came back and was like, because she does wind up walking away, y'all. When she comes back and she's like, what is the goal here? What is the goal here? Because what happens when you say this happened? She says, no, it didn't. Where do we go from here then? Is either we're going to continue to try to, build a friendship, we're going to move past it, or we're just going to like not be friends. We're not going to be cool. We're just going to go our separate ways. Those are the only 2 options we have, other than for you guys to sit here and think that she's going to sit here and be told that she said something or did something that she didn't. You can't make her admit to something that she doesn't want to admit to. So why continue to beat this dead horse is how I feel. And I also was very irritated with Mary in this scene, because Mary is the first one talking about, why don't you tell her that? Why don't you tell her we're concerned? Yada, yada, yada. Bitch, why the fuck don't you tell her then? What's wrong with your mouth? If you also think it, why can't you tell her? And if
I
you
thought
also
she told her though already. I thought she told her already, sister. And Meredith didn't want
to address it, but every single time, even earlier that day when Bronwyn's like telling her all this stuff, it's like, figure it out, blah, blah, blah. And I want to say she even told Whitney most recently. She's like, go tell her. Like she's done that multiple times this season, where people came to her as the wise one in the group, only for her to be like, she sees it too, but it's like she wants the other person to bring it up first, but she's the one that's so dead set on, I'm so concerned. Oh my gosh, I'm so worried about her. We've been friends for so long, yada, yada, yada. Then why are you not spearheading it and asking her what's up, what's going on? And also, why are you so upset talking about, I am self-aware and I am this and yada, yada, yada. She has such an issue with what was said in the play about her, when in all actuality, but only for her to say that Lisa, you are self-centered. So you can tell Lisa she's self-centered, but Lisa can't tell you that you're not who the fuck you say you are all the time. Like that you don't have any flaws. Oh, let me not say that, because last time Brittany told you that you were less than holy, you got a whole fucking attitude. So what makes you above reproach? This is why, like, we need to just end. We needed to end on a high note, like I said last week, because nobody in this situation is better and can be absolved more than anybody else. And Heather, why are you bringing up the issue? Why was Heather chiming in before Bronwyn didn't even get to bring up and respond to what Meredith said? It was Heather. Like, what do you have to do with it? Like, goodbye. What? But shout outs to Lisa, because I feel like she was there to, call people out appropriately, because we got Heather over here trying to produce things, trying to have a moment. Why were you crying and putting your head in your hands, Heather? Like, what? Goodbye. It was, It was so much. It was so much during the scene that I was so irritated with. And for Bronwyn, and then for Bronwyn to present finally what she saw to Meredith in this format doesn't read as somebody who was trying to be a friend to her. This tells me that this is always how you wanted the information to get out in a like weird, salacious way. I'm glad Meredith paid you dust in that moment. And I'm glad Lisa also called you out to say you knew exactly what you were implying by bringing it up in that fashion.
I do agree with that. Bronwyn know what she was doing when she did that. Like she literally was still trying to, that's why I was asking you earlier, do you think Bronwyn was trying to circle back around and trying to get the, not the approval, but try to get the girls in her good graces. Like, look, I gotta be tactful about it. I'm gonna be tactful about how I bring Meredith down this time. And when I say bring her down, it's like, let me see what she's gonna do. Is she gonna lie and say that she didn't say what she said to me? And is she gonna hide behind, because Brahma kept trying to parallel the two of them. She kept saying, you know, I hide behind my feelings when, you know, things are going wrong with me and my husband. And it's like, but that's not that's you.
Her reality. That's
that
just like Whitney, you're trying to hang on to this, my family, my father. It's just stop trying to hang on to that from season 1 and compare that to everybody else. And also same thing for Mary. Like, you're so concerned and stuff like that. How do we know that that's not a projection, or just because like, don't sit here and act so concerned with her, but at the same time you don't show that same level of concern to other people who I feel like you should as a pastor. Like, it's so many double standards in this group, and so much hypocritical rhetoric that I just was like, oh my God, at the end of it.
Here's my other thing though. Why wouldn't Lisa? So Brown was kind of pussyfooting around the whole thing when she brought it up. Like, you didn't even give the deets. I'm not saying what I saw, and I did see Red. But I'm not saying. So Lisa said, so what are you saying? What did you see? What are you saying? And instead of just saying what you saw, me and Todd, we went back and forth on should I even say anything out. I didn't want to bring it up, but because you have been so closed in, this is what I've been wanting to bring up, but I couldn't. And instead of doing it like that, you came up with, it's not even a cockamamie story. It's just that it's not going to be well received. And we just saw it play out all in front of us. And so it make it look like, you was like kind of taking the knife and going like this instead of in her back, instead of really being concerned.
You just threw it out there straight up instead of trying to dance around it, yada yada yada. If it was that serious, then I would just at this point then just laid it out there. Don't try to even present it in a way like up until it was the last syllable left her lips. She was trying to still present it in a way that didn't make her look messy, but we knew in all actuality that's exactly how you sounded. I did laugh though when Mary was like, "You've been a loyal friend. You've even been loyal to Todd forever. Look how you." That made me laugh. Just like it also made me laugh when Meredith was like, we're not going to talk. Should I start counting the multitude of pills in Brittany's pill bottle, or the times that she's seen Heather and Whitney and doing the same?
I was like, yikes. Well, I said, what is this turning into? Y'all just turned it into a shit show. Like, literally, we get this play. Y'all mad because old girl clocked y'all because of the information y'all gave. And everybody had to give it to y'all. Everybody had to say something similar or that cohesively went for it to land the way it landed. It wouldn't have landed unless y'all was all being truthful. Hey, Micah.
Hey, and hey, Kev. Drive safely.
Business and listen, don't tell nobody.
It was a lot for me, and it also was a lot. Heather was especially pissing me off talking about, you can come over here, stop talking, then leave. Then those are your two options. Like, she was talking real with a lot of
money.
Yes.
Cash money.
And they're better than me because I'd be like, who are you talking to, Heather? who are you talking to? Whitney, go away. Like we need to get into the business of keeping our hands to ourselves in conflict, and also not continuing to try to stop people from leaving situations, because that's typically when things go really poorly in life, is when you try to force a person to stay in an environment that they don't want to stay in. Just saying. Yeah, it
because
was.
they think that they think, what is that called when they get to something with your environment, confined to your environment or something like that. No, girl, I'm a grown woman with my own thoughts, and the way I think and the way you think is totally different. And I still feel like, did y'all get the whole sisterhood thing? Did y'all get it? Because at the end of the day, everything was put on, it was put out there about you guys, what, how everybody perceived, exactly what Bronwyn said. Everybody should have walked away feeling a certain kind of way, like, wow, this is how I'm perceived by my friend group. I need to do some reflecting, some self-reflecting. I need to figure out, what am I doing wrong? What am I bringing to the table? Instead of, well, girl, yeah, this is how you, like, literally, I almost felt what Heather was trying to be like, trying to lighten the moment, because it was a lot being said in the moment of the play. But at the same time, we put it all on the line now. It's all here. So let's just tackle it, take the bull by the head. Let's just tackle it and then move on. I didn't feel no resolve right there. So I'm really looking forward to the finale. I mean, for the reunion, because
Yeah. And I just feel like that's the smart thing to do at that point, because again, what more do we have to talk about at that point? You're gonna feel how you feel, and you're not gonna back down from how you feel about it. I'm not gonna back down from how I feel about it. So I don't really understand what more they like. Why would you want to keep just talking about it then? There's nothing more to talk about other than to say like, hey, I feel how I feel, you feel how you feel. We're not going to agree at the end of the day. So I don't know. I would have got up and left too, but that's just me. I don't know. That's where we end with it though, y'all. We'll see, I guess, what happens in the reunion, which finally did drop, which I would have maybe if we have some time. No. I definitely want to get over here to talking about this Mary documentary. Otherwise, I would have spent some time trying to talk about the trailer and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to give, but I did see some little pieces in the trailer where I was like, okay, I'm not taking it back when Andy's like, I don't know, off or he gets up and stuff like that, because
I didn't see that. Yeah,
happened before, and like that is what it is. But I hope I'm not disappointed. I hope I'm not disappointed. I guess I wonder if we're gonna get a husband segment. I'm assuming.
That's what I
was. And I also know I'm gonna be pissed off when I don't know where that question came from of is Lisa trying to make John look bad or something like that. I was like, if anything, it's been the other way around for season.
No, I thought, that's what they said. I thought is Lisa trying to make John look bad? I thought it was the other way around. I think it was the other way around. Is John trying to make Lisa look bad?
No, they said it just like
the other way around. Wow.
Like I didn't feel like that whatsoever, but okay.
I didn't either. That's why I'm like, really? No, and I was wondering the same thing, since I was literally like, is Todd even going to be there? Because he's the main husband that we're spoke the most about, and then we have an accusation with Seth, Red Cut Seth. So I'm like, and then John did, John laid into a little bit, laid into Lisa in a proper way. He finally trying to get his voice out there, So I hope we do get a husband segment. I would think we would, but we didn't get it in the trailer. So that's weird.
Right. Yeah, I don't. I'm.
But maybe they didn't give it in the trailer because they may give it to us in the second trailer. Like not the second trailer, but you know what I mean. The second part of it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
You know, like the preview to the second one, and then it'll be like, oh, here's the husbands, and then you know, because that would be smart if they do that. That would be great. That'd be great. But yeah, that was, you know, like you said, sis. It's not that it wasn't much because it was a lot, but it was just condensed, and then we didn't get them. So how did they not so much resolve, because there's no resolve, but how did they lead there? We got Lisa and Meredith over there in one corner, you know, over there. Like you said, I would have walked back over there too, but at the same time, it's like I would have just asked Bronwyn altogether. Lisa, you had all that energy, and she's so disgusting on that. Why wouldn't you just go back over there and be like, what did you see? Tell me exactly. Tell me. If you ain't, I mean, if Meredith don't want to hear, please tell me, since you said it in front of the group. What did you see? So, yeah, I can't wait to hear how this all plays out.
Right. Me neither. But y'all, it has been real. I know I speak for both of us when I say we've enjoyed discussing things this season with you all. It's been great. It's been great. We will, of course, be back for this 3-part reunion. It better give Andy. It better give Andy. Because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be upset. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things on both our channels. And yeah, if you guys want to discuss the what is it, the cult of the Real Housewife, whatever it's called, we're about to come back literally right now. So meet us over there, and we'll catch you there.
Bye guys. Thank y'all.